Alumni Veterans Basketball Association, better known as AYABA, and formerly the Metro Manila Tiong Veterans League. Before anything else, the AYABA and its committee would like to pay tribute to one of its fellow committee members and co-founder, Mr. Brian Brenton Chua. As a sign of respect, let us all bow our heads for a short prayer and a minute of silence. As Brenton always says, the games shall go on, and as we serve the alumni community, let us all give Brenton a warm round of applause for his contribution to the league and the community. We would like to thank you all for wearing the BBC ribbon on your jerseys in his memory. Brenton will be dearly missed. Let the AYABA Games begin!
Good afternoon, basketball fans. We are still here at the Aero Center for the third AYABA Tanduay Athletics Cup. Our third game for today, the Philippine Institute of Quezon City is going up against Chongse Academy. And now let us meet the starters of both teams, beginning with the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. At power forward, number 4, Ronald Wong. At point guard, number 8, Christopher Lee. At 2 guard, number 13, Ivan C. At small forward, number 19, Romel Lacson. And at center, number 41, Christopher Lee. Head coach is Mike Oliver. And now let us welcome the starters for the Chongse Academy. At 2 guard, number 4, Joe for you. At small forward, number 12, Michael Paglinawan. At point guard, number 16, Albert Go. At center, number 15, Lindon Alejandro. And at the other forward position, number 30, Roberto T. Head coach of Chongse Academy is Winnie Albreda. Our referees for this game are Michael Texon, Jeff Borgoña, and Dave Ruelos.
Welcome to the third AYABA Tanduay Athletics Cup. This is the 40th division, the matchup between the Philippine Institute. Welcome to the third Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. And of course, we would like to thank Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Stick O, Davis Paints, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, the Aero Center, our venue for this league, Ravenol Metro Summit Realty. And the matchup for today, this is the third game of the quintuple eventful Sunday. Today's game is the Philippine Institute of Quezon City versus the Tiong Academy. And the first five here on the floor is for the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. It's Ronald Wong, Christopher Lee, Ivan C., Romel Lacson, Christian Lee, and wearing dark colored shirts are the Tiong Academy, and their starters are Joffrey Yu, RBU, Albert Go, Lyndon Alejandro, and Randin Lang. On the call here on a gloomy and rainy afternoon here in Quezon City, this is Greg Cilia together with Brian Presilias on the call as this game's analyst. Just a few moments before the tip-off, as both teams showing camaraderie and sportsmanship, shaking the hands of each other. The last game went 55-41 as the Alumni Association of Xavier School defeated the St. Peter the Apostle School, and the defending champs showed their prowess offensively and defensively, as now we are watching the tip-off as the first possession goes to the blue shirts. You now handling the leather. Gets doubled by two white shirts. And again, as we've said time and time again, he's got the feet but got no rhythm. Right there. So the Philippine Institute of Quezon City now has the ball. Ball is in the corner. Goes back to Laxon. Intercepted. Early turnover here for both teams. Still not scratching the scoreboard. The first jumper, no good.
Pretty dry on the offensive end on both sides. Talking about both the Tiong Academy and the Philippine Institute of Quezon City.
And Brian, what have you noticed here? What are the matchups, possible matchups that we can watch out for this game?
Well, Philippine Institute of Quezon City is a fresh, newly minted, kakapasok lang na nakupunan dito sa ating liga. So there's not much to anticipate from them. This is their first time joining the league. That's why they were given a round of warm welcoming applause in our early festivities. But Tiong Academy, of course, also debuting the season. Well, one thing we can notice here is that definitely PIQC have their play, a lot of motion here, just could not handle the leather there, but showing offensive sets here, execution of plays, following instructions of their coaches. So definitely a good basketball matchup we're seeing here between Tiong Academy and Philippine Institute of Quezon City.
Blue shirts now handling the leather. You just cannot get a hold of the ball. Roughly 2 minutes in, still has not scored for both teams.
And what spells that the doom for both these teams. That's the reason why no one has scored yet in the scoreboard is the turnover story. A lot of them are, apart from those misses, the turnovers are also playing a huge factor here.
Possibly early game jitters dito, partner, no? Siyempre, as mentioned nga, this is the debut game for both teams, and those are the Philippine Institute of Quezon City against the Tiong Academy. And there was a call on the floor.
I guess that's just an out of bounds play of that slap, of that swipe. So still no foul on the floor.
Yu now goes inside, loses the ball momentarily, gets blocked. Great defense there. And the white shirts are now running. Lee converts on the easy layup on the break.
Now we're seeing the Philippine Institute of Quezon City showing what defensive prowess they have as a team. Very new team, fresh, brand new team here in the league. Defense to offense, converting that fast break opportunity, and another one, partner.
And as we can see here, the white shirts love running and defending with their hands. Pero clean defense though.
Active hands, forcing a turnover there on the part of the Tiong Academy.
Now Go, the mid-ranger. Too long. And the foul was called on the floor.
I believe that wasn't a foul, but he was caught stepping on the line. So that was an out of bounds play.
Timeout now being called by Tiong Academy. And this is the third Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. And we will be right back after this short break. And we are back. This is the third season of the Inter-Alumni Veterans Basketball Association, or the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. And of course, we would like to thank our sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Stick-O, Davis Paints, Ravenol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, the official venue for our Ayaba, the Aero Center here in Quezon City. This is Greg Cilia together with Brian Presillas on the call. The ball now is in the hands of the Tiong Academy.
Again, turnover. So
Turnover once again. Early game jitters.
Turnover story, huge here for both teams. But, well, PIQC has scored only 2 points thus far as we approach the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. So both teams are suffering those jitters.
And that's actually the only points so far. Here, bodies on the floor. Active hands once again by the blue shirts.
Back and forth action we go.
Joe for you, the captain of the Tiong Academy, momentarily losing the ball. And they have approximately 2 seconds to bring the ball to half court. You looking for an open man. Gets it to Alejandro, who then draws the foul. And the foul was called against Wong.
Wong getting called for a foul there. That was almost a botched play. But good recognition on that leak out play. Caught holding onto the jersey.
Now Chan is checking in for Randy Nang. Chan now gives it up to you. Drives left. The pull up. The bank shot is no good. The second chance opportunity, and he gets fouled underneath the basket for 2 free throws.
Smallest man on the floor, but the biggest of hearts. Fearless drive right there for you. That relentless pursuit of the shaded area. Look at this. A pump fake, head fake. Parang sa 2K yun ah. When you're playing 2K sa PS4, you know, you spam that square button. Effective here for you thus far.
As the first free throw misses for Joe for you, the captain of the Tiong Academy. He can scratch a scoreboard here as he does so. 2-1 ang ating score with 6 minutes and 10 seconds ang nalalabi sa ating first quarter of the ball game.
2-1. Very slow offense from both teams. You can also credit the good defense from both teams.
Ball was tapped outside by Chan. Possession remains for the White Shirts. Reinforcements have been sent in for the Tiong Academy. That is Nang and Ang going in for Albert Go and Paglinawan. The
Hammer
three.
action.
No good. The offensive board by Lee. And he throws a wild shot there. Ball now is being... Possession is now being transferred to the Blue Shirts. Gives it up to...
Four-on-one
Why-
break. Wow. Wow.
The traveling violation. Nag-shuffle yung paa bago yung dribble.
But
Nauna yung first step, partner.
nauna ang first step, but
Nauna.
active hands of Nang interrupting that fast break opportunity. That was a 4-on-1 break. No numbers for the defensive team right there, but a counter steal.
The leak out pass to Chan. He now has the floor. And he does not convert on the free throw, but Nang converts with the putback, puts his team up by 1.
Chan wanting some little flex play there with a change of hands mid-air. Too strong. Good thing that a teammate was trailing to make that offensive rebound and a putback. Here's PIQC, a strong drive. And a layup
Lee
is good.
converts with the scoop and the score. Palitan lang ngayon ng opensa for both teams as Yu now is handling the leather. Goes to his right. Nang now has the ball. Inside, gets trapped. The corner. The drop pass for the short shot is just long. Ironically.
That was a good two-man action right there, but
Yes.
too strong on that floater.
Now D gets it to the left corner. Baseline. And good defense there by Alejandro. Tumatakbo ngayon ang Blue Shirts. The layup is good for Arvin Ong. Francis Ang. Sorry. I stand corrected there. Now the White Shirts taking their time. Takes the three. Does not make it. Wong, the offensive board against 3 Blue Shirts inside, and he draws the foul.
Clogged paint right there, but a lucky break for the White Shirts. Wong with his able hands, receiving that basketball like manna from heaven. He's able to carve some space, able to hoist up that shot, and body contact being rewarded now for 2 free throws, a chance for him to take the lead here or tie the ball game.
First free throw for Wong is good. First deadlock of our ball game. Second free throw. Bounces out. You now pushing the pace for the Blue Shirts. Spins, but active hands though. And the White Shirts now running, and they draw the foul once again for 2 free throws.
We're seeing a lot of fast break action from Philippine Institute of Quezon City, and that's an indication of their endurance and their cardio. You know, they love to run the pace. Kanina kahit nga 1 versus 4, you know, pinupush nila yung action.
Itinatakbo nila yung
So,
bola regardless of the numbers there.
probably the instructions here of their coach is to make sure that you don't allow the defense to settle. Push
Pass.
while numbers are not in their favor.
C converts on that second free throw. Now, and the 8-second violation was called. Great defense there by the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. The full court pressure there definitely worked wonders for them, and now they get the possession. Now Evan C gets it to Ong. On her free throw line, Castro drives right, gets bumped. The mid-ranger, too long. Castro once again converts on the putback.
That was almost a botched play of that horns flex action, but very lucky and fortunate break for Castro to get that offensive rebound from the weak side. So that's the value of a Castro who likes to crash the boards for you.
And as we can observe here, Coach Mike Oliver is instructing his team, the Philippine Institute of Quezon City, to put the pressure down the floor para ma-disrupt itong offensive rhythm ng Tiong Academy. Now from the corner, the three is good. Three-pointer from Ivan C. The pressure once again is being seen here. Chan drives left, gets it to Chan. The mid-ranger falls short, gets his own rebound. Loses it. The pressure still is being instilled there in the half-court play. Nang rather, just falls short. Tumatakbo na naman ang Philippine
He
Institute
did not
of Quezon City.
recognize a lone
The
man,
challenge.
a teammate by his lonesome right there.
Great defense though by the Tiong Academy. Now the three. Just a tad too long. Now the white shirts regain the possession. They're swinging the ball. The top of the key. Fakes. Takes. Does not make. The offensive board. Third
Another
try.
one for him.
No. And the ball remains with the white shirts.
Christian Lee with 3 straight offensive rebounds for himself against 3 blue shirts in the paint.
And reinforcements are being inserted here. That is Cheng and C and De La Cruz now in the ball game. De La Cruz now with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now C open, just falls short. De La Cruz though.
Wow.
Wow. That reminds me of Eman Monfort.
Eman Monfort
Yung hustle.
action, right? The hustle and the pass.
The pass there, yung great recognition of the floor. Grabe yun. Now the blue shirts. Ang drives left. Martin gets it to his right. Being defended here by... And the foul was called on the floor.
Only the... oh no, now that's the 4th foul of Hyungsdae Academy. No, that puts them in penalty, but good thing for them. We only have 60 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A turnover right here. And now a foul called on Philippine Institute of Quezon City, but that's a, well, you could say a wise foul, because that's a foul to give for them. Only 2 fouls across their team's name. 14-5 is our count with 55.7 remaining in the first canto.
Barely a minute left here in the first quarter of our ball game. Nang gets it to Chan with 11 seconds on the shot clock. To the left wing, back to Nang. Picks up his dribble, pulls up, and puts the ball in for 2 points. The lead is now back down to 7. De La Cruz crosses over, gets it to C. The 3. Too long.
He was ready to turn his back to
Yeah,
that shot.
he was ready to do a curry there.
Good pass.
Wow, that reverse there by Austin Cheng cuts the lead down to just 5. Now De La Cruz. And Chan a little bit over aggressive, defending with his hands. And that is actually the 5th team foul of Tiong Academy, which brings Sonny De La Cruz to the line for 2 free throws. He airballs that first one though. Brian, what can you say about the fast-paced action being enforced here by the white shirts?
So far, it's all been the speed and pace of Philippine Institute of Quezon City as we end the quarter there.
And now we conclude the first quarter of our ball game, 14-9 in favor of the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. This is the third season of the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. Greg Cilia here and Brian Presillas will be back after this break. And we are back for on the third season of Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. Of course, our sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Stick-O, Davis Paints, Ravenol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, our venue for today, the Aero Center here in Quezon City. On the call is Greg Cilia with our analyst for this game, Brian Presillas, as we approach the second quarter of our action. Still a lot of time for basketball here. 10 minutes pa lang ang nakakalipas sa ating ball game. First possession of the second quarter will go to the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. Now Castro gets it inside. De La Cruz for the three. It's good. As we open
Now,
the first.
getting that 3-point shot to go.
Yes.
Kanina niya pa hinihintay yun. I think that was his third attempt.
It's his first make out of 3 attempts so far. Now you for 3, trying to answer, no good. Rebounded by Nang. Now Ong gets it to his right to Cheng. The corner 3 once again. Bounces out of the rim. Tumatakbo na naman ang Philippine Institute of Quezon City. Goes for the Euro. The runner, no good. Cheng grabs the board for the blue shirts.
We are slowly but surely seeing the identity of Philippine Institute of Quezon City here, being the brand new team here in our league. But you know that they like to run the floor. Their pace of basketball is very fast, not waiting for the defense to settle. As we see here, the strong drive and a foul, and then one opportunity for Lim.
As Lim now is awarded for the end one opportunity, as he brings his team a little bit closer against the white shirts. Just a 5-point lead with 8 minutes and 50 seconds remaining on the second quarter of our ball game. Now De La Cruz picks up his dribble to the corner. See the 3, short. Now Cheng gives it up to Ong, who's being trapped on the baseline though. Now you. Top of the key is Lim, who loses the ball. And
Slippery
here,
basketball.
once again, the identity of the PIQC.
Well, too aggressive on that play.
Yes. And they get called for the offensive foul, as we see here sa replay.
Like a freak train running into
The
Martin.
driving Reniel C charges his defender there. Kaya natawagan ng offensive foul. Maganda rin yung pagkakaplat though ng mga paa ng kaniyang defender down the block. Now Cheng being defended by De La Cruz. Disrupted there. And the ball remains with the blue shirts. The coach of PIQC here instructing his team to deny the ball. Now Cheng takes the 3, makes the 3!
Now, Very quickly, it's only a 2-point deficit here in favor of Philippine Institute of Quezon City. Now
De La
a strong
Cruz
drive.
inside gets blocked as he attempts for the layup. Good defensive play here made by the Tiong Academy.
Sometimes the smallest players on the floor are the most fearless,
Yes, and the most aggressive
the
at
most
that.
aggressive.
Now see, another three. Another miss. De La Cruz once again showing his heart as he steals the ball for his team. Now see, to De La Cruz. And the smallest guy on the floor has the biggest heart so far
And
for the PIQC.
he's the benefactor of that wonderful pass by C. Fake pass to the left, dishing it to the right, making things work for his team. 19-15 in favor of PIQC.
Now Ong gets to the right wing. The three. All air. Tumatakbo na naman ng PIQC. 2-on-2 fast break. Now it's a 3-on-2. Numbers on their side as they draw the foul.
Foul is called on. I'm thinking that is Lyndon Alejandro quickly recognizing and acknowledging that foul.
Cheng called for a personal foul there. The tip on the inbound. Great disruption of that play. Now PIQC with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Not much plays being ran here, but Ong inside uses his size and he draws the foul for 2 free throws.
That's only the first foul of Tiongse Academy here in the second quarter.
But that is the third personal foul of Nang there.
So 2 early fouls in the first quarter for Nang, and he will have to be more careful from here on out. Oh,
First free throw is good.
I stand corrected. Our scoreboard is now showing both teams have 2 fouls apiece rather. So 2 more fouls to give for both teams.
And a little bit of discussion here on the floor is being made as Rolando Go substituting for Nang. And that is Tai coming in for the TSA. Now Cheng handling the leather. Gives it up to the left wing. Takes the 3, does not make it. Tumatakbo ulit ang mga white shirts. This is their identity so far, partner. And they've been drawing fouls early in this second quarter of our ball game.
I think that's a good read also on the part of the coaching staff. They easily recognize that Tiongse Academy is not a very well-oiled team in terms of running the floor. So they capitalize on that, they take advantage, and usually, more often than not, they get benefited from that kind of action.
See there, converts with the 3-pointer on the right wing. Now, the low post. Back out to Cheng. Cheng drives inside, gets trapped by 2 white shirts, and he goes to the line for 2 free throws.
That extra pass, as we see here, extra pass to a cutting Alejandro, I believe.
That is Cheng.
Oh no, it's Cheng.
As Austin Cheng converts on his first free throw. Ang kalamangan na lang ngayon ng PIQC ay 8, and he can bring it down to 7 but to no avail. Now, De La Cruz sizing up you. Gets it to the right wing. C fakes the 3. And he gets it to Cheng. The mid-ranger, no good. Ong, the offensive rebound is working wonders for him as he converts on that putback.
Strong side offensive rebound from Arvin Ong. That Kalawit rebound paying dividends for him. He's just too long, too strong, and in good position. 2 points for Ong.
And now PIQC sitting on a very comfortable yet still manageable for the blue shirts here. They have a 10-point lead midway to our second quarter with 5 minutes and 32 seconds left.
So now some reinforcements. Lacson checking in for PIQC, Tan for Tiong Academy. But before that, a timeout on the floor. We'll be back with more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup basketball action.
And we are back for the third season of the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. On the call is Greg Cilia together with Brian Presillas as your analyst. Our league sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Stick O, Davis Paints, Ravinol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, our game venue, Aero Center, here in Quezon City as we come back from the timeout made by the Tiong Academy with 5 minutes and 32 seconds on the second quarter.
Now this lead is starting to build up. First time it hit the double-digit mark. 26-16 with 5:28 remaining here in the second quarter.
Now Ong loses the ball. C gets it to Lacson and patay ang butiki doon.
And that's the difference between the blue shirts and the white shirts. Whenever they get the rebound, itong PIQC would always look to run. Pero
And
itong
Go takes and makes the three to cut the lead down to just 7.
But Tiong Academy, on the other hand, would want to always set for the half-court offense.
PIQC tries to answer to no avail. Lacson says, relax lang muna. Wow, what a hard slap received there by Arvin Ong.
But a quick show of showmanship and
Yeah.
sportsmanship there between the two players. But I think that's a little too hard of a love tap.
Yeah,
We heard that from the broadcast table.
it was a little too hard though. But it just shows na yung physicality dito. And the toughness for both teams are really evident, no? Now Lacson scanning the floor. Gets it inside. And the ball was last touched by Nang. I stand corrected, that is tie for the blue shirts. A little bit of confusion here on the printout.
Free from the corner is C. No go.
Now, Ko goes inside, and the block there by Chen.
Little flex play for that defensive anchor of a player.
That is Mark Cheng
Mark
with
Cheng.
a solid block against Go.
He waited for that shot to be hoisted up.
Nakaw play inside. The hoop is good for 2 points. And timeout is now called by the PIQC. And we'll be right back for more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup action between the Philippine Institute of Quezon City against the Tiong Academy. We'll be right back. And we are back for more Ayaba action. This is the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup A great matchup here being shown between the Philippine Institute of Quezon City versus the Tiong Academy. Of course, our league sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Stick O, Davis Paints, Ravenol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, our game venue, the Aero Center. A timeout there. We're coming back from a timeout called by Coach Mike Oliver for the PIQC as they go back to the drawing board, and a little bit of discussion to before we resume the game coming from the timeout. C though has been chucking up threes but to no avail. I believe is 1 out of 7 here. C once again, no. And Arvin Ong inside gets fouled by Arvin Ong. His first free throw is good. He now has 7 points for the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. His
Quiet
second,
contribution here, but very impactful. Talking about Arvin Ong with 7 big points.
now it's 8.
Make that 8. After that, made free throw.
And the full court defense here being implemented by the PIQC. Ty on the break now. They get the second chance. Yu is fouled underneath the basket.
No, that's what you get when you're very active on the floor and you don't give up on the play.
Yeah, and especially, of course, we should commend the rebounding, the offensive rebounding of you there.
Yeah, smallest man on the floor, but very active with his hands, tracking the
That
basketball.
is RBU.
You know, knowing where the basketball would bounce.
Doesn't make 2 free throws. PIQC now on the break once again, and they convert on the fast break layup. The lead is now back up to 9 as the blue shirts, the leak out pass there, a little bit too slippery as Lee now handling the leather. Gets it to Ong. The hook, no. Rebound secured by Ko, but he was pushed away from the game floor by Rainiel C.
Both teams are in penalty, so this will be converted into 2 free throws. From here on out, it would be free throws for both teams, as both have hit the penalty mark since the halfway mark of our second quarter. That's a Ko on the free throw line.
A little bit, medyo maaga-aga pa. 3 minutes pang nalalabis sa ating second quarter.
Rolando Ko.
As Rolando Ko converts on the first free throw, extending his team's lead to 8 and possibly 9 with this second free throw.
That's a Ko from Tiong Academy, so that's a chance to cut the lead down.
Traveling violation there, called against Ko. As Diego has been saying, he danced the cha-cha to a boogie song there. Substitutions here for the TSA. Tse going in for the blue shirts. Now Lee gets it to the right wing. The 3 still to no avail. And the loose ball foul there against Arvin Ong. Let's see here in the replay on what happened down the block there. Yeah, there's a little bit of that arm hook on the rebounding play.
Some
Brian.
entanglements,
Yeah.
as they would call it.
And as mentioned, both teams are now in the penalty, so all fouls, except for offensive fouls, of course, will be converted and rewarded for 2 free throws down the line.
Our
Now
second
Kevin
quarter
Ze.
has massively slowed down here because of these fouls, of this penalty situation from both teams. That's the first point of Kevin Ze.
His second free
Second
throw gets the lucky bounce as he reduces the lead to just 6. You know, partner, if they start to convert on their 3-point baskets here, maybe they can get a hold of the lead or even just at least tie the ball game here. Now Castro gets it to Lee. Gets it right back. The corner 3 from C. Still cold there. I believe he's 1 for 10 now. Or 1 for 9 if I'm not mistaken.
We'll see after halftime when we get the comprehensive box score from our commissioner's team.
And PIQC again
Now-
forces the turnover. Lee taking his time, drives to the basket, and good defense there shown by Kevin Zay. The athleticism by Kevin Yu though.
Soaring high.
Yes.
Sana may replay as so
Ito,
that we can
makikita
see the
natin
vertical.
yung sneaky
Joe
athleticism
for
no?
you, 2 feet, ang tawag doon, yung jumping on 2 feet.
Yeah. At bumali pa sa ere.
Joe for you. Smallest man on the floor, team captain of Tiong Academy.
That is Joe for you, who converts on his first free throw. Second free throw now underway. And he makes both free throws to cut the lead down to just a 4-point game. Now Lee handling the leather. He's taking his time though. Castro gets it back to Lee. Corner. Castro drives middle. The floater just short. And a little bit of a scramble as the ball remains with the white shirts.
You know, the flow state of the basketball motion of Philippine Institute of Quezon City has been very good and impressive here.
And their offensive rebounding also.
Yeah, a lot of
partner.
players are rotating and switching positions left to right from corner to corner. The
Yeah.
dribble drive also working for them, and the positioning of players underneath, giving them second chances, third chances at the basket. So that's the reason why they're ahead here, albeit just a 4-point lead in the dying minutes of the second quarter.
And Gilbert De Castro converts on his first free throw as Ong is preparing to come inside the game. And he will be reinstated here as Castro makes his second free throw. Joe for you now controlling the tempo of the game on the offensive standpoint for the Tiong Academy. The 3 in and out. Rebounded by, I believe that is Haiyang Ong. Lee on the left wing.
Good find.
Wow, the physicality underneath the basket.
And a
Ito.
good cut right here, a seal for Ronald Wong.
And you also have to commend though the presence of mind ni
Yeah, the pass.
ni C. Despite being a little bit cold on the 3-pointer, he's being respected by his defenders, closing out aggressively. Kaya nakahanap siya doon ng open man underneath the basket, and that is Christian Lee, who splits the free throw.
Ronald Wong. That's Ronald Wong.
Oh, Ronald Wong, I stand corrected there. Just a technical error there. Now you gets it to the left wing. Corner, rather. You loses the ball, pulls up. And he gets
the
his own
vertical.
rebound.
You know,
And he gets foul. Grabe yung sipag doon,
the
partner.
verticality, it's not just, you know,
Eto,
the hard
tingnan
work
natin
of this
to.
man, but the
Siya yung
talent.
tumira
Look at this.
niya.
Sabay, yung bomba niya, sabay dun sa
Oo.
pagbabanis.
Grabe yun.
Veteran moves, you know, that this guy is you can definitely notice the veteran smarts of this guy. Probably a star player back in his heydays.
Yes, and as we know, this is the 40th division of the Inter-Alumni Veterans Basketball Association or the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. So, syempre, mga eksperyensyado na tong mga players natin dito. As Joe for you, the captain for the Blue Shirts, splits the free throws. Castro
Pinball
there
action right there.
asking for a foul.
Ball bouncing onto the head of Tiong Academy player.
A foul was called against Ronald Wong, as now RBU goes to the free throw line for 2 shots. Oh, he banks the first one. So apparently the bank is open on a Sunday.
And the question there always is, pag free throw at bank shot, is that intentional or a lucky break?
Did he call bank?
But you know, if twice in a row he made it, then
Yeah.
probably intentional.
And of course, as the player on the court, he'll take it.
We'll take it. A point is a point.
Now Lee gets it to the left corner. The 3 by Ong. Too long. Now Joe for you. Once again, getting aggressive. And the athleticism just a little bit zesty there on the finger roll.
Yeah, a little bit too overzealous for Joe
Yeah.
for you. Trying to attack 3 white shirts. We believe in your athleticism, Mr. Joe for
3
you.
seconds
but,
on the clock. Lee pulls up. No avail. And that is the end.
And I think that's going to be up for review.
Oh, I think there was
Yeah,
a foul.
referees
There was a
are-
foul
yeah,
called?
No.
Possibly.
Just up for review if that is going to be a counted basket.
Oh, the putback, yeah.
The putback.
And now we see both teams hustling up, both on the offensive and the defensive standpoint, battling for loose balls. And as you can see, the score now is very close, 33-28 in favor of the PIQC.
We're
The
still
play
waiting
now.
for the verdict of the referees. That is no count.
The final score of the first half is 33-28 in favor of the Philippine Institute of Quezon City, and we'll be right back after the halftime break.
Pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer! Pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer! Up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer!
And we are back for the third season of the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. This is a matchup against the Philippine Institute of Quezon City versus Tiong Academy. This is the third game of our quintuple set Sunday here at Aero Center. After this game would be Chiang Kai-shek College versus a Grace Christian College there. And the last game for today is St. Jude Christian School versus Uno High School. And of course our league sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Sticko, Davis Paints, Ravinol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course our events arena here at the Aero Center. This is the 40-up division of the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. The matchup here between Philippine Institute of Quezon City in white shirts versus the Tiong Academy in blue. Momentarily, we will hear an in-depth analysis of the first half, courtesy of Brian Presillas, as the second half of our ball game is now underway.
Partner, this is not a very huge lead. Only 5 points that separate PIQC and TSA. But what we noticed in the first half is that there's some level of control between these two teams. But the dominance has always been on the part of Philippine Institute of Quezon City because of their ability to score second chance opportunities. They've been rebounding really well here. 28-19 in the rebounding department. The total team effort in that department for Philippine Institute of Quezon City. Offensive rebounding is huge for them with 12. And also, their ability to score off those turnovers. Just a total team effort here. Hustle plays and gritty plays for the white shirts. But man, you know, the resilience of Tiong Academy as well to score off those fast breaks. Doon actually sila lumamang 11-4 despite them committing way more turnovers compared to the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. So if TSA wants to come back in this ball game, they will really have to take care of the basketball. They will really have to be more careful with handling that letter.
As now Arvin Ong being rewarded with 2 free throws because of his aggressiveness down below, and he converts both as he extends the lead to 35 to just 30. Now you handling the leather, picks up his dribble. Then that is Tse, gets it to the right corner. Tse loses the ball momentarily. Great defense being shown here by the white shirts. Tse, and the shot clock violation. Great defense though on the left block.
Yeah, offense got stuck way too long for that play to materialize for Tiong Academy. A couple of head fakes as well, not recognizing that the shot clock was winding down.
And of course, the grit and the hustle here shown by the white shirts is very amazing and commendable, and it's actually working for them so far in this game. Now you being defended by De La Cruz. A little bit of a hand check there was called the foul against De La Cruz. That is his second personal foul. The corner, Cow. The mid-range jumper is good. Batang-bata pa ang mga players natin dito as Lee answers for the midi. No good. Rebounded there by Arvin Ong, who spins and draws the foul underneath the basket.
And that's what we're talking about during the halftime analysis. The second chance opportunities. Benefactor of that is Ong because of his long rebound of that miss from his teammate.
Yes.
Ito na naman, another rebound.
The foul there was called against Lyndon Alejandro. Now De La Cruz, the smallest man on the floor, gets it to Lee. The drop pass inside to Ong. Oh wow, a third chance opportunity here for the white shirts. Maybe third time's charm for them.
3 straight possessions. Naubusan lang ng oras itong
Naubusan ng oras. And hindi rin kasi tumama sa rim yung shot attempt nila kanina before the scramble for the ball.
Yeah, but you have to give it to their to the 5 players on the floor for PIQC, all trying their very best to get that loose ball and dive for a second crack at the basket.
Now Ko handling the leather. The high post gets it to Alejandro. Drives inside. But tinawagan ng traveling there on the drive. Nauna yung first step, partner.
First step.
Probably he's never gonna dance again.
Pwede bang
Kasi he's got guilty
he
feet.
danced to the wrong song.
Yes. Guilty feet eh. No rhythm.
And no rhythm.
Yeah. A
But,
turnover.
Counter turnover here.
Yes. Now is Rolando Go who gets it to Alejandro. Now you posting up.
Wow.
Wow, guard post up here.
That's some physicality displayed there by Joe for you against De La Cruz of PIQC. Strong words from both players, but just a showcase of competitiveness.
That is actually the third foul of Sonny De La Cruz, 2 in this quarter. And to note,
a show of showmanship, sportsmanship.
yes. Yung mga small things gaya nung appear na yun, it's actually a big thing.
Takes
diba?
a long way. Oh, naman. Especially the leagues like this is the purpose of leagues like this is to hone camaraderie and communal friendship between these alumni leagues, alumni teams.
The jumper in from the mid-range was disrupted by a slap there, as we see on the replay. You drew the foul there and now he is being rewarded for 2 free throws on the line. Joe for you with 4 points, trying to make it 5, just falls short.
I'm quite surprised. Joe for you, the team captain of Tiong Academy, only has 4 points, but when the way he projects himself, now make it 5. The way he projects himself as the floor general, really impactful, and his presence wildly felt here for his team.
And he's actually being a vocal leader there down the court, and he's hustling for the rebounds despite his size. Actually, partner, the 2 smallest men on the floor are showing great hearts, great hustle, and alam mong pinagplanuhan, pinagpraktisan, at nag-ensayo talaga tong mga players natin today.
Yeah, to your point about him getting rebounds in the first half or diving for rebounds, he has the most rebounds in his team. He's leading his team in the rebounding department in the first 20 minutes of action with 6.
Wow. As Rolando Ko converts on the runner. The lead, no lead now. The deadlock is now Go handling the leather. Deadlock natin this second half. Yu throws the ball away. Now Lee handling the leather. Sabi niya, wait lang, reset muna tayo. Pero the entry pass inside to Ong. Second chance point. But instead, he gets fouled underneath the basket.
Again, the offensive rebounding, the cleanup job here. The first was a miss, but he did not give up on that play against 3 blue shirts. Outstretched arms of 3 blue shirts. Now getting rewarded for his hustle and hard work.
And also, very noteworthy, the Tiong Academy are now in the penalty with 5 minutes and 40 seconds still remaining on the third quarter of our ball game.
Prior to that, made free throw at 35. That was our only second deadlock of the ball game because in the first half, we were only tied once.
Nang, the offensive rebound, the putback is up and in for the Tiong Academy. Now, we have Rainiel C handling the leather for the white shirts, who gets it to the corner. The entry pass. Inside. Oh, they're playing a hot potato game here. Just comes up short from that midi. Now, Jofer Yu once again, the poised leader of the Tiong Academy. And good defensive play there by PIQC as they force a turnover. And now they get a hold of the possession. Substitution here. Laxon goes in for Christopher Lee.
With 4:50 remaining in the third quarter, both teams are proving to be quite a decent matchup against each other. Very well matched 5 here on the floor against the 5 of Tiong Academy.
Yes,
37 to 36.
and actually, hindi lang natin napansin pero lamang na ang Tiong Academy dito.
But, you know, this close contest now in favor of Tiong Academy with that precarious 1-point lead.
Yes, momentarily, kanina lang. I believe that was Ong who was called for the travel.
But
And
I believe there's also a technical difficulty pointed out by our referees because the shot clock was not activated even after the inbound was triggered. 4:20 remaining.
4:20. A little bit of discussion still here, so a timeout was called by Tiong Academy as we will be right back for more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup action.
Mamaya nakaganyan.
And we are back for more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup action. The league sponsors are Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Sticko, Davis Paints, Ravinol, Metro Summit Realty, Tough Mama, Shinoy Basketball Association, of course, our game venue, the Aero Center here in Quezon City. So now we are going back to the ball game with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Nasa Tiong Academy ang possession at ang kalamangan 36-37 as they waste away the possession. I believe that was Sheng who committed a turnover there.
They wanted to go high-low there. You know, now again showing who they are is PIQC. Not only are they fond of running the floor and making fast break opportunities work wonders for them, but also the offensive rebounding, or nothing to take away from their opponents as well. But it seems like they just want the ball more than Tiong Academy rather.
First free throw for Arvin Ong is good. Both teams are now actually in the penalty with 3 minutes and 58 seconds
Ayan na naman.
remaining
Okay.
second quarter.
And the foul called on the big man of Tiong Academy. That's
Number 30, that is Randy T.
and the foul was committed because Ong was on the verge of getting another offensive board.
Yeah, the tap there was very crucial for that actually, the foul call nga yun.
Yeah, first half pa lang ang laki na ng disparity nung offensive rebounding nila, 12-5. And we're seeing here the continuation of that story in the third quarter. A lot of second chance opportunities for the white shirts.
Arvin Ong with a second free throw just comes up short.
Ayun ba?
Ayun na naman.
Ayun na naman.
Offensive
serving.
rebound for the white shirts. C for 3. To no avail once again.
And another one.
I believe this is the 5th possession, consecutive possession for the white shirts. And finally, the blue shirts get the hold of the ball. Now Nang stops on a dime, gets it to Cheng. They said reset. Nang, the pull up. No good. Now C handling the leather. Advances the ball to Lacson, who gets called for the travel.
Too much steps there before he was able to get that dribble to go.
But of course, a commendable defensive effort there by the blue shirts who stopped Cheng there.
Yeah, that would have been an easy leak out pass if
Yeah.
not for that body in front of him.
Now, the pull up is short for Nang. Now Cheng, the 15. No good. Offensive rebounding once again for the white shirts is very effective as they get a 3-point basket. Hatid sa inyo ng Tough Mama, ang ating sponsor for today.
And what made it possible was
An 8-second violation was called there. Great defensive effort there by Arvin Ong. Timeout is called by the Chongse Academy, and we'll be right back for more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup after the break. And we are back for the third season of the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. This is a matchup for the Philippine Institute of Quezon City against the Tiong Academy. Of course, our sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Sticko, Davies Paints, the Chinoy Basketball Association, Tough Mama, Ravenol, Metro Summit Realty, and of course, Aero Center as our game venue. On the call is Greg Cilia together with Brian Presilias as your game analyst. We're coming back from the timeout called by Tiongse Academy. And PIQC now has a small lead, a 3-point lead here with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third quarter of our ball game. Possession is with the PIQC with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Now C gets to the free throw line. Ong gets it back to C. The fake, the shot is good underneath the basket to extend the lead to 5. Now the full court pressure here being implemented after that timeout. Cheng gets the screen from Ze. He drives left, but he throws the ball away, and Nang saves it to the wrong man. Now C running the break, gives it
Good
up
pass.
to Ong. Good pass there as Ong converts on a fast break layup. We're seeing once again the so-called identity of the QC rather, the fast break
veteran
plays
smarts
there.
for Rainiel C, knowing when to pass, where to pass, who to pass the ball to.
Yes. Great recognition of the floor there as Zed drives left. Picks up the ball. The drop pass inside. Oh, a man down there. The ball is loose. Go, recovers it. Cheng steps on the out of bounds line. A costly turnover there.
every time Tiong Academy inches closer or ties the ball game, just as like how we saw in the third quarter, they were able to inch closer and get to scoring distance to PIQC. PIQC would make their own version of that run. Now another 7-0 burst for them, or a 9-2 burst rather, that would put them up by 7, 44-37 with 1:13 remaining. But some commotion here, some clarification with the referees.
And of course, while waiting, we would like to appreciate again the masterful performance earlier by the Alumni Association of Xavier School, annihilating St. Peter the Apostle School 55-41 and showcasing why they are the defending champions of the Ayaba
And
Tanduay Athletics Cup 2023.
prior to that, the Northern Rizal Yorklyn School alumni falling for the second straight time. 0-2 now is their record. They lost to Philippine Cultural College in a very close contest, 75-70. So those were our first two matchups here in our Pentuple Sunday. Medyo lumabas na ang araw sa labas ng Aero Center here in Quezon City. A while ago, it was raining cats and dogs.
A ray of sunshine here on medyo magulong weather afternoon dito sa Quezon City.
No, still clarifications on the end of our some officials from Tiong Academy.
Both teams heading to their benches, trying to get this chance to go back to the drawing board as we go for a break, and we will be right back for more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup action. And we are back for more Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup action here after the discussions made on the floor. We're now back to the ball game with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining on the third quarter of our action. PIQZ handling the leather, and the three courtesy of Tough Mama there. Syempre ang ating sponsor. That three-pointer hatid sa inyo ng Tough Mama. Now Cheng, trapped by two white shirts rather. The corner, the shot, all air. Now C. He can go for a 2-for-1 opportunity here. The right wing, and C draws the foul from, I believe that's Michael Paglinawan.
And now we see the re-entry of team captain Jofer Yu.
As we can see here, the replay, yung swipe and onting tapik doon will bring C to the line for 2 free throws. 25 seconds na lang ang nalalabi as Malcolm Ivan C converts on his 17th point courtesy of that first free throw. He can extend the lead for PIQC to 12, in which he does though. His 19th point of the ball game. He may not be converting from the distance, but his aggressiveness down on the floor has been working wonders for his team so far. Now Cheng being trapped by C. C once again. Great hustle there, but hindi napunta sa kanila ang bola as nakaapak na raw sa sideline.
This is a major story for Tiong Academy, and the reason why they're down 12 here is because yung simula pa lang ng play nila, nahihirapan na sila because of the denying factor and the defensive stance of the white shirts of the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. They're finding it extremely difficult to even cross the court.
Yes. Lacson there being called for a blocking foul as the captain of the Cheongse Academy, Joe For You, now goes to the line for 2 free throws, and he does not convert on that first one. Now let's see if he can bring down the lead to just 11 to end the third quarter of the ball game, in which he does.
6.6 to work with
Now,
here for the Philippine Institute of Quezon City.
With 3
Let's
seconds on the
see.
clock, the three, all air, and that is it for the third quarter and the first 30 minutes of our ball game. PIQC has the lead 49 to 38, as we will be, and here are the highlights for the quarter. There we see the mid-range jumper being converted, and of course our sponsor for the highlights, Metro Summit Realty. As you can see, yung galawan inside ng Tiongse Academy, okay, gumagana for them, but Philippine Institute of Quezon City is just on a different level here in this ball game. And there we see once again Ong converting on the fast break. Their identity so far the whole game is running the break and pressuring the defense there to get those forced turnovers. And before we go to the break, of course, we would like to thank our sponsors, Tanduay Athletics, The Shawarma Shack, Stick-O, Tough Mama, Davis Paints, Ravenol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, Aero Center. And we'll be back for more Ayaba action for the last 10 minutes of regulation here at Aero Center. And we are back for the last 10 minutes of regulation here in the third season of the Ayaba Tanduay Athletics Cup. This matchup between the Philippine Institute of Quezon City and the White Kits against the Tiongse Academy is brought to you by Tanduay Athletics, the Shawarma Shack, Stick-O, Davis Paints, Tough Mama, Ravenol, Metro Summit Realty, Chinoy Basketball Association, and of course, the Aero Center. Now, the PIQC has been dominating the game so far as they are controlling the boards, getting the putbacks and forcing turnovers and actually converting on the fast break. As we see once again here, the gritty defense made by the PIQC on the glass. And Brian, what can you say about that play?
Again, the reliable effort of the players of PIQC, just like that one we saw from Gilbert De Castro. 4 blue shirts around him, rebound already secured, but he did not give up on that basketball. He got it, he was able to hoist it up for a floater, and he got fouled in the process. So now he's able to extend the lead to 14 with 9:30 remaining in the fourth and final quarter. Very commendable hustle plays here for PIQC. Total team effort here for them.
Now see, directing traffic, gets it inside to Ong, who gets fouled once again.
he's been he's been at the receiving end of those
Love
slaps
taps. Yeah.
na naririnig natin all the way as we see here.
Ayun oh, dalawang palo
Ayun.
there. So,
Another commendable thing here is the coolness of Ong,
yeah.
despite those very physical plays against him.
He's just very
No
calm
reaction.
and collected
NR.
here, no?
NR.
Despite the contact, the physicality of this game,
Just playing
and
the game.
especially his team's fast-paced action. Now he has 15 points for his team as they bring the lead to 15. Now Tiong Se running the floor, running the break, puts
Yan.
the ball up and puts
Gopher
it in.
Yu sensing some urgency here for his team. Knowing he's the team leader, he would try to capitalize on his speed, on his athleticism, just like that.
And they need it though. At naka-steal na naman ang Tiong Se Academy.
But for them to make this comeback story successful, they would have to make consecutive defensive plays like that and convert their points, because this is a 13-point lead with only 1 quarter remaining.
Now Rainiel C has been called for the reach and foul there. And he actually fouls out of the game with 5 personal fouls. A huge blow here for the Philippine Institute of Quezon City.
Our first graduate.
as- Actually, I think he is the leading scorer for their team. TSA inbounding the ball. Just a little bit of discussion here between the officials and the players. Ko inbounding the ball to Eugene Ong. Posting up Ong here. Gets it inside to Joe for you. Too strong on that runner. Now Lee tumatakbo. Puts his head down, puts the ball up, loses it. Ball recovered by Paglinawan there. Now you handling the leather. He's directing traffic, telling Ong to go to the opposite side and the weak side of the court. He drives left. Good contest there by Ong. And Eugene Ong draws the foul after that offensive rebound off
Yes.
the miss
Joe
from
for you.
Joe for you.
Pleading
Look
his
at
case,
this.
saying that
Oh,
taps, but that one definitely a foul. But Joe
that
for
slap
you
by Gilbert De Castro
was
might have
saying
hurt it.
there was a foul on his drive to the left lane. No whistle call there, but now Eugene Ong a chance to bring the lead down to 11 with a second free throw.
He now has 4 points for the blue shirts. Can't make it to 5. The ball now handled by Castro, who then takes his time and posts Joe for you up. The 3 by Lee, no good. And the whistle on the floor. That is a holding foul was called there against the blue shirts. With 7 minutes and 39 seconds remaining on the 4th quarter of regulation. Now Laxon to the corner. The 3 is good. And that 3 is brought to you by Tough Mama. There goes that man.
14-point lead here by PIQC. Tiong Se Academy will have to pick up their pace and impose their will here if they want to make a comeback.
You inside against 2 white shirts, but he shuffles on a boogie song ayon nga kay Diego de la Paz.
Dancing to the wrong song.
He's dancing to the wrong song there. Nag-shuffle kahit hindi LM Fawan tumutugtog.
Joe for you wanting to post up a player right there, but just lost real estate right there, and turnover. Now it's in the hands of PIQC. Wow, double spin.
Lee.
And offensive rebound.
Laxon, the three. No good. As the Blue Shirts grab the defensive board and kailangan na nilang maibaba ang kalamangan dito with a little bit of sense of urgency.
That's true, Greg. The window of opportunity for them to make significant strides of a comeback is slowly diminishing.
Oh, with 6 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock, I believe they need to convert on their 3-point baskets, their layup attempts, and get a good hold of the ball and secure the basketball para hindi sila makakommit ng mga costly turnovers. As now, Gilbert De Castro draws the foul on the left corner. That foul brings the Tiong Academy to penalty. Castro now gets it to Lee. The drop pass inside.
High-low play.
As I believe that is Ronald Wong drawing the foul. As you can see here sa replay, ang ganda ng drop pass doon. Saktong-sakto for Wong. Pero yung tapik ni Michael Paglinawan.
All three players from Tiong Academy in the paint are looking at the mid-range jumper, leaving a wide open Ronald Wong. Now, Joe, for you, they will have to be more careful here. They will have to be more defensive here. They're down big, 16 with 5:55 remaining in the fourth and the final quarter. Alejandro triggering inbound. Gives it to their team captain, Joe for you. Waving off. Getting a pick. Driving hard. Absorbing contact. Now a foul is called. That time referees are saying that's against Romel Lacson. So 2 free throws going to be awarded to Jofer Yu. First free throw is good for Jofer Yu. Only 4 points thus far, silenced after that strong showing in the first half. He would usually get a lot of open looks in the lanes to the basket, but you know, breaks of the game, better defensive structure deployed here by Philippine Institute of Quezon City. More than enough to close down and put the clamps on Joe for you, the team captain of Tiong Academy. Now free throws on Castro's way. That's Gilbert De Castro with 10 points, 2 fouls. He gets his own offensive rebound and another offensive rebound. The effort of the white shirts unparalleled here, and another, you know, how can you rally a comeback if you're not going to be able to secure these rebounds? And of course, you have to give credit to the players of PIQC for not giving up on any sort of play, relentlessly, consistently getting those offensive boards. Wong with a second free throw. Short on that one, but there's a lane violation. So Wong will get another crack at the freebie. Now, substitution reinforcements here for Tiong Academy. That's Nang checking in. 59-42 is our tally. 5:24 remaining. Slowly but surely, PIQC pulling away here. This is a big 17-point lead. Cruise control as Castro gets a free lane at the basket. And that righty layup on the strong side is good. For number 17, that is Gilbert De Castro. So a complete masterclass showcase of basketball prowess, offense and defense for the newcomers, Philippine Institute of Quezon City. Fouls called here on the floor. Ong for 2 free throws. First one is good. 18-point lead still here. A lot of points to make up for. Time is not on the side of the blue shirts. Again, this is between the Philippine Institute of Quezon City versus Tiong Academy, our third game in our fourth Yup division here in the Ayaba, the Inter-Alumni Veterans Basketball Association. Ong now on the left side, heavily guarded. Swings it to Cheng, swings it to the right again. He escapes the first line of defense. Count the basket according to the referee. That's a nice gather on the basketball by Nang. Randy Nang now on the free throw line for Tiong Academy with 6 points. He gets his own miss. Good box out that time. Sayang yung offensive rebound that time, but now the ball is in the hands of the white shirts. Here's Lee getting a pick from Lee. Point blank range is a miss for PIQC, and Tiong Academy now pushing the pace. A 3-point heave. No go, and was supposed to be a baseball pass to a teammate. I believe that was supposed to be, or the intended receiver of that was Ronald Wong. Alejandro nauna ang first step, and that has been a very consistent call on the part of our referees. When you are not able to dribble the ball before you plant your foot or your first step, you will be called for a traveling violation, and that's been the story, and that's been a consistent call by our court officials. Lee getting a pick here, swings it to the corner. Driving baseline and a reverse is no good, but a foul called on the floor. So Ronald Wong with 2 more free throws. So with 3:04 remaining here in the fourth quarter, both teams are in penalty with 5 fouls apiece. From here on out, it will all be free throws. But again, time is not on the side of the Tiong Academy. If a miracle of epic proportions does not materialize here, this will be a walk in the park in favor of the Philippine Institute of Quezon City. 65-46, 19-point lead, very comfortable here are the PIQC players. .256 remaining. 13 to go in the shot clock. 10 to work with, and a turnover. And that's been one of the main storylines here between the white shirts and the blue shirts. And another offensive rebound, but a turnover again, a counter steal, and a foul on number 9, Conway D. Timeout now called on the floor with 2:33 remaining. PIQC leading the way in driver's seat here. We'll be back with more Ayaba Tandwai Athletics Cup basketball action. Welcome to the Ayaba Tandwai Athletics Cup. This is the Inter-Alumni Veterans Basketball Association, our third annual Ayaba Cup. Third game here on our 40-up division between Philippine Institute of Quezon City, our newcomers here in the league, and Tiong Academy. We welcome you to our live broadcast, wherever you're watching. A lot of basketball action we're seeing thus far, and we'll be seeing later on. Earlier, Alumni Association of Xavier School defeating the St. Peter the Apostle School 55-41, and the game before that, Philippine Cultural College winning over the Northern Rizal Yorkland School alumni 75-70. Now, I think with 2 minutes remaining, a little over 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth and final quarter, and a 19-point lead here in favor of PIQC. We're just waiting for the final score. Unless, again, as I would say, a miracle of epic proportions materialize with 2:02 remaining. Next up, our fourth game on this gloomy Sunday. It's Chiang Kai-shek College versus the Grace Christian College, still in our 40-up division. First free throw is good for Cheng. That is number 17, Austin Cheng. As we see the court announcer declare it's the last 2 minutes of our basketball action here. Tiong Academy looking for more ways to score. Now it's their turn to make offensive opportunities. But a costly turnover there. Wasting that offensive board. Leak out pass. Just too weak on that layup. That was Tsai. And a backcourt violation committed here by number 14, Sonny De La Cruz. Sonny De La Cruz going back to the bench in favor of Marvin Tan. Ball possession goes to Tiong Academy. 1:26 remaining. Hustle play here by itong si Tan, and steal completed. 1-on-2 break, and that finger roll is pristine, beautiful for number 4, Ronald Wong. PIQC already with their second and third stringers here in the ball game. Less than a minute remaining in the fourth and the final quarter. Next up, it's Chiang Kai-shek College going up against Grace Christian College, and after that, our fifth and final game between St. Jude Christian School and Uno High School alumni. Leak out pass in no man's land. PIQC turning the ball over. But what a performance here for the newcomers, announcing their impactful presence here in the league. Philippine Institute of Quezon City in complete cruise control. (67 to 48) is our count. 41.5 seconds remaining. And I think they're just gonna hold on to the ball, or maybe try another shot here before possession goes back to the Tiong Academy. And just like that, 2 more points for PIQC underneath. Chan for 3. Strong on that one. And that's it for our third game here in the third annual Ayaba Inter-Alumni Veterans Basketball Association between the debuting Tiong Academy and the debuting newcomer Philippine Institute of Quezon City. 21-point deficit, 69 to 48. PIQC with a total team effort, a masterful performance, a showcase of basketball prowess, offensively and defensively. Skill gap just way too good for Philippine Institute of Quezon City as we see some highlights here between these extra passes, fast break opportunities, not allowing the defense to settle.
There, as you can see, tuloy-tuloy rin talaga yung fast break points ng Philippine Institute of Quezon City. Here, a glimpse of what Tiongse battled with the whole game. This has been Greg Cilia together with Brian Brasilias on the call.
Next up, it's Chiang Kai-shek College versus Grace Christian College. We'll be right back for the interview of our best player of the ball game after this short break.